Okay, let's try that again. So just come into a comfortable sitting position and become aware of your body. Sitting bones, shoulders, elbows, wrists, all the joints feeling soft and relaxed. So any other problems, let me know so that you can enjoy the class. Make sure you can see me, pinned my image. And let's just bring some focus to our breathing. So we're going to inhale on a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale on 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale on 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale on 4, 3, 2, 1. Sustain. 4, 3, 2, 1. Just carry on in your own time. Do a couple more rounds. Maybe slowing it down, counting to 5 or maybe 6. And as you're breathing in, you're filling the lungs, feel the rib cage expand. And as you breathe out, you're emptying the lungs and maybe feeling the abdominal muscles contract as you push that last bit of stale air from the bottom of the lungs. Relaxing your face and shoulders, just focusing on your breath. This exercise encourages us to be mindful of our breath. And just mindful, being present in this moment. So finish the round you're doing with an inhale. So after your next inhalation, just release with a big sigh. Take your time if you're still finishing that round, and then bring the chin to the collarbone and make a circle with your head. All the way round. And then go the other way. Inhale and look all the way up, tilting the head back, keep the mouth closed, and exhale, bring the chin back to the collarbone. Inhale, just come back to the center. Exhale, turn to the left, all the way, even looking over the shoulder. Inhale to the center, and exhale to the right. And inhale to the center. And we're going to inhale and open our arms all the way back. Exhale, bring the arms by the ears, palms together, chin to the collarbone, rounding the spine. Inhale to open through the front of the body, squeezing the shoulder blades together, looking up. And exhale, pulling the belly into the spine, really squeezing out. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Inhale. See if you can really squeeze the shoulder blades against each other. And exhale. And then come back to the center and place your left hand on the floor, right arm by the ear. Inhale, And exhale, side stretch, maybe bringing your elbow towards the floor, but pressing that right sitting bone back into the ground so you can really stretch into the hip. Keep breathing here. Also, try bringing that right arm just behind your ear so that you're really opening through the side of the body. And on the next inhalation, come back up, stretch and open, and exhale to go the other way. 3 breaths here. And inhale to come up. Exhale, just float the arms down. And let's just roll the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale with a sigh and release. And again, inhale. Exhale. Last round, inhale. Exhale, and then just shake them around. Forwards, and back the other way. And then we're going to reach forwards and place the fingertips on the floor. And just kind of roll your body side to side, just kind of opening the front, opening the back. Place the hands together and inhale. Let's lift and open the left side. And exhale to release. And inhale the right side. Exhale, release. And then place the hands on the floor, spread the fingers and roll the knee onto the knees. Just walk the knees back under the hips. Hands are under the shoulders, wrists under the shoulders there, spreading the fingers, middle fingers pointing forwards. And let's just take the hips in circles. So these can be small circles if you like to start with, or make them as big as you like, taking them all the way back to the heels and out to the sides, maybe even coming forwards, placing more and more weight on your hands. Move your shoulders as well, so just kind of freely moving a little bit here, just stretching into wherever you need to stretch, and then go the other way. So be mindful of your knees. If you need to make extra padding for your knees whenever they're on the ground, have something close by that you can stick under your knees. And then we're going to come back onto all fours. And inhale to open through the front, just as we did a moment ago. Exhale, chin to the collarbone. Inhale. Lift your sitting bones, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, rounding forwards. And again, inhale. Exhale. Tuck the toes under, press into the hands and lift the hips into the air. Lift your heels as well and really extend through the upper body. Exhale, press your right heel closer to the ground while keeping your hips lifting into the air. And inhale to release. Exhale the left heel. Enjoy that stretch. Inhale to release. And exhale. Both heels towards the ground as we lift up through the hips. Send our belly towards our thighs. And then we're just going to walk the feet to the front of the mat. Hip width apart. Outer edges of the feet in line with the outer edges of the mat there. Grab your elbows, you can bend the legs and just rest forwards. Grabbing your elbows and rocking from side to side. Just relax your neck and shoulders completely here. Allow your back to lengthen, your spine to lengthen as you just hang. And then change the crossing of the arms. Just feel the whole, whatever you've been doing, if you've been sitting in front of a screen all day, just kind of use this time to let the shoulders relax and move away from your ears. And then we're going to straighten the legs and place the hands on the mat in front. If you can't reach the floor, you can have the hands on the legs or bend the legs even, it doesn't matter. And we're going to inhale and twist and open to the right, bending your left leg. Maybe keep the right leg straight and make a fist with the right hand and rotate it both ways. And exhale to release and change. Inhale. Just tuck the thumb under when you make your fist and really get more of a stretch there. And release. And then walk the hands forwards even more, fingertips on the floor, cupping the hands. Hope you can see me here, yeah. And then really stretch into the fingers, push the hips back away from you and enjoy more of a stretch there. And then walk the hands back towards you, come into a little ball. And as you breathe in, uncurl. The legs are the first things to straighten. And the hips move over the knees and the spine starts to unravel. Shoulders rolling back. And have the palms facing the front. So just standing tall. Still. Lifting through the back of the neck. And tilting the tailbone under to lengthen the spine. Take a deep breath in and feel your rib cage expand. And exhale, pressing the feet into the ground as you breathe out, really connecting with the ground below. Make sure the toes are spread wide, feeling really strong and like a mountain, which is why it's the mountain pose. So we're going to inhale and bring the arms over the head and exhale to bring them in a prayer in front of your heart. Inhale and step back with your right foot so the heels are in line more or less. The toes of the right foot are pointing out 2 o'clock position. You're keeping the front leg bent here, knee pointing forwards. So the hips are also in line. Push the right hip forwards to make sure of that. And lift and open here. Work on getting a 90-degree angle at the front with that front leg, if possible. Okay, so from here we're going to inhale and straighten your front leg and release the arms, interlock the fingers behind you. On the next inhalation, start stretching through the front of the body, opening through the front and lifting the arms away from your back. And as you exhale, pull that left hip back to stop it traveling forwards and come halfway. Bring the body halfway here. Take a deep breath in and either stay here or if it feels right, you can go deeper. And then release the hands in line with the front toes and place the back knee on the mat. Uncurl the foot at the back there, so the toes are uncurled. And inhale to bring the arms by the ears. Inhale to open here. Let's lift out of the pose, maybe slightly straightening the front leg so that your right hip is over your right knee. And as we exhale, we'll gently drop the hips forwards and down again. So inhale, press into that front foot to lift up again. And exhale, lowering yourself down. Feeling the weight in your hips. One more time. Pressing into that front foot. Push out again. And exhale. Sinking the hips down. And then we're going to bring our wrists in line with our shoulders. Pulling the elbows back. Spread the fingers into cactus pose arms. Tilt the tail under and maybe open into a gentle back bend here. And on the next inhalation, coming back to the front and bringing your hands onto the mat. And we'll actually shuffle the left foot across slightly, bring our left hand inside the foot, press down into the hands and look forwards. Perhaps roll that knee out, coming onto the outer edge of your left foot, and perhaps bring your forearms onto the mat and rest here. Breathing deeply, stretching into that left hip, also finding a stretch wherever you're noticing stretches going on. Just breathe and try to relax in those areas. See what happens. And then walk the hands back. Keep the right hand where it is and inhale as we open to the left. Breathe here. And then come back to the front and bring the hands into prayer pose. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to twist to the left. And then perhaps place your right elbow outside your left thigh. Lift your left elbow and turn the fingers towards your face. And press down into that right arm to lift your torso and twist even more. And you can stay there or tuck the back toes under. Lift that back knee off the floor. And then from here, we're going to have a go at bringing your right hand to the floor, outside your left foot, by the side of the ankle there. If that's too much, keep the hand on the floor, just on the inside of the foot. And we're going to try straightening the leg, left leg here, and lifting that left arm in the air. It's a bit of a balanced one. Twisting the body. Don't worry if that front leg wants to bend a bit, just focus on twisting. It's a really nice stretch for the leg as well. And then exhale, release, bring the hands onto the floor, and we're going to swing that left foot back into downward facing dog. Into an upside down V. It's your first time, so you're walking up and down on the spot here. And then we're going to carry on walking all the way to the front of the mat. Bend your legs, drop the hips and sweep the arms forwards by the ears, coming up as you breathe in, and then exhale to sink a bit deeper into your chair pose. Tilt the tail under. So in the chair, you need to make sure you can see your toes. So you're taking the hips all the way back. And press into the feet, inhale, and lift and open here. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Close your eyes here, just press the thumbs gently against the chest. Relax your facial muscles and just connect with your breath before we do the other side. inhale, and let's bring the arms over the head. Arms together, exhale to the heart center. Inhale, step back with your left foot. Again, the heels are in a line and the back toes are to 10 o'clock position. Inhale to bring the arms over the head into your warrior one. Adjust the legs if necessary. Make sure the whole of that back foot is on the floor, really pressing into that back heel. Okay, one more breath here. Inhale and open. And then we're going to exhale and interlock the fingers behind the back. Inhale to straighten your front leg. Lift the arms away from the body and open. Squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. And we're going to keep that happening as you bring the body forwards. So you're moving forwards through the chest. Staying halfway or using the breath to go deeper. Of course, you can just keep the hands on the hips if taking them over the head like this is too uncomfortable. And then we're going to release the hands and bring them onto the mat. Place the back knee on the floor, uncurl the toes, press down into both feet, and inhale to bring the arms over the head. So you just check that the front knee is over that ankle. So we're going to inhale and lift out, lift up, so the hip is above the knee there. And exhale, gently move back and forwards and down with the hips. Inhale, press into the right foot to lift up. Exhale and sink deeply. And inhale. Exhale. Drop the hands to the floor. And then shuffle the right foot across. Bring the right hand inside. And inhale as we open. Maybe roll onto the outer edge of that right foot, taking the knee nice and wide. Maybe bringing the arms onto the floor. Breathing deeply. Inhale, and as you exhale, maybe just seeing where you can release, seeing where you can let go. And stop holding. And then bring the hands back to the center. And we're going to keep the left hand where it is and inhale, twist and open to the right. Hold it here for 3 breaths. And then release. And you might just want to actually shuffle that foot slightly back inwards. Bring the hands into prayer. Inhale here. And exhale, twist to your right. And again, you can stay here or bring that elbow outside the thigh. Lift your right elbow, turn the fingers towards your face. And use that arm to lift up and twist up with the body. Maybe tuck the back toes under and lift that knee off the mat. So, the next variation, you're going to either place your hand on the floor, inside the foot, or just outside that right ankle. Maybe just bring your right hand onto your hip for now and start straightening that front leg. Pull that right hip back. If you want, you can lift the arm in the air. And release. Hands on the floor and swing that right foot back into downward dog. And exhale, we're going to bring the knees on the floor, uncurl the toes, sit back on the heels, and come into the child's pose. So make sure the hips are on the heels as you place the forehead on the floor and just let your shoulders flop. Close your eyes and relax. Try to relax here. This restful pose. And inhale, slowly uncurl. We're going to come back up to standing. Now you can either just use your hands and stand up however you like. For a more challenging variation, you can bring the palms together and tuck the toes under. And now sit back on your heels, transfer the weight onto your toes, come into a squat, and then carefully come up to standing. Maybe placing the heels on the ground first, or just coming all the way up and then placing the heels on the ground. Okay, so since we're wanting to work on some leg stretching, if you've got a long sock or a yoga belt to hand, grab that now. And we'll work on balancing and leg stretching together. So if you are a bit wobbly tonight, you might just want to grab a chair or something as well, just to use. Okay, so standing in the mountain pose, spread the toes. So you are going to be balancing. It's wise to create space with your feet. And you're going to inhale and lift your right knee as high as possible. So interlock the fingers, just have your belt or sock ready. Interlock the fingers and pull the knee as high as possible without dropping the body down to grab it. Keep the body upright. Pull that knee as high as you can. Keep that foot that's on the ground really solid and grounded. Press down firmly into the ground. And it really helps if you just pull the kneecap up towards the thigh, that left leg, the opposite leg, whichever's on the ground there. Just lift that kneecap up towards the thigh, and that strengthens the leg. Now you're going to place your belt underneath the ball of your foot or your sock there. Grab both ends and start extending the leg out in front. Relax your shoulders. Push the foot into the belt. Of course, if your hamstrings are okay, you can do this without the belt. And then you're going to take the belt into both ends of the belt into that same hand, into the same arm of the leg that's lifted. I've got my right leg lifted and my right hand grabbing both ends of the belt. Left hand on the hip, and you're going to open the leg out to the side, keeping the hips facing the front. Maybe lifting the opposite arm. And then change, bring the leg back to the centre. So again, you can use your chair if you've got one. Take the belt, enter the belt into the other hand now. Bring the other hand onto the hip and start pulling the leg across the other side. And maybe stretching that opposite arm behind you. And if you're fairly stable, you can turn and look at that hand. Oops, and come out gracefully, better than I did, and gently place both feet on the ground. Just have a little step up and down with the heels, loosen up the body, the legs, And we'll do the other side. So bringing the weight onto the foot and lifting your knee as high as possible. And taking your belt, if you're using one, around the ball of the foot, and pushing it out in front of you. Or just using your hands. And now we're going to open the leg wide. So take both ends in your hand, take the leg wide open. And then change. Swap the belt over into the other hand, or grab it with your hand. And take your time. If you're still there, when you're ready, just come out, place both feet on the ground, and lift your heels off the floor. Bring the arms by the ears and stretch the whole body. Now, if you're okay here, keeping the heels off the ground, if you need to, place them back on the floor. We're going to bend, stretch to the left. Inhale to the center. Oops, staying on your toes. And exhale the other way. And inhale to the center. Hands into prayer. Exhale to the heart and place the heels on the floor. Good. So hopefully your legs are feeling nicely stretched now. So we'll come onto our backs. Actually, we won't come onto our backs. We'll just make our way down through the squat again. So you can lift the heels off the floor or keep them on the floor and just bend your legs all the way and then sit on the mat. And we're going to cross our legs, place the hands on the floor in front of you, roll the knees forwards and just walk those knees back and take another couple of breaths in the child's pose. And inhale and slowly uncurl. So, I know we have one new person with us this evening, so I'll just quickly explain. We have been setting ourselves challenges. Just helps liven up our days, something different to practice every day. So for the last week, I know some of us have been doing the squats. I don't know how you've been getting on, trying to do 10 to 20 squats each day. So I thought we'd do a new challenge today, and it might not suit everybody, especially if your arms are not up to it at the moment. We're going to try doing the Dolphin Flow, see how many of these we can do. So first of all, let's just kind of practice together. You're going to grab your elbows with your hands, opposite hands, and plonk them on the ground. And then we're going to interlock, keep the elbows where they are, release the hands, make a fist with both hands, and walk the knees back underneath the hips. So we're just going to hold it here for a few breaths. You're going to press down into your arms so that you're not collapsing like that. You're pressing out, pull the belly into the spine. Really good for core strength, this one. And keep the back of the neck long here. So really pressing down, holding strong here, breathing deeply. As opposed to this. Yeah, so have a sense of pushing the tailbone to the wall behind you, lengthening the spine. So we're going to inhale and move the body forwards, touching the nose to the floor, again without letting the belly flop. And exhale, press into the arms and send the hips all the way back. Inhale, coming forwards. Exhale. And move back. So just carry on doing a few more repetitions of those. So if this isn't right for you today and you'd like a different challenge to do, You could try, I suppose, you could just go onto your belly and maybe do some, it's more back strength, I suppose. Maybe doing some repetitions of inhaling and lifting and exhaling, releasing, just doing a few of those. So if you're getting on with the Dolphin Flow, if you want the stronger variation, if you're finding that one okay, of course you can do the full pose, which is where we take our knees off the floor and we inhale to come into a plank, exhale to go back into the dolphin pose, pressing the arms into the ground, belly towards the thighs. Inhale, exhale. So for anyone that was doing the plank challenge, you might find that this is so much easier now. But carry on, whichever variation you're doing, just do a few more rounds. And I know it's an evening class, but just kind of, we'll be doing more relaxing stuff shortly. An evening, some strength work after if we've been sitting down all day or not moving around so much, especially with this weather. A little bit of burst of this strength might help us sleep better. And we're going to just release and sit back on our heels in the child's pose. And breathe here. Now, just let your arms completely relax. Just feel the weight in your wrists and arms and shoulders just flopping. Feel the hips flopping towards the heels. And then on the next inhalation, just come out gently, curling all the way up. Okay, so from here, we're going to bring our belly onto the floor. Make a pillow with your hands, crocodile pose, big toes together, heels wide. And just breathe here for a couple of rounds of breath. And then bring the heels together, feet together, and bring the hands underneath the shoulders, spreading the fingers, tuck the elbows into the body. Inhale, press into the pubic bone, and then press into the hands to lift into your cobra. Keep the shoulders away from the ears and the elbows just gently tucked in, pressing into the fingers and the thumbs, opening through the front. One more breath. It doesn't matter even if you're here, just kind of work on bringing the shoulder blades closer together and sending them down the back towards the waist. And then exhale, release. So just come into that crocodile pose again. Big toes together, heels wide, and rock the hips from side to side. And then we're going to bring our left forearm onto the mat, kind of in line with the short edge of the mat there. And then bend your right leg and reach around and try pulling that heel against your body. Now, we're going to try adjusting the hand so that your fingers are by your toes and the heel of the hand is pointing down towards your ankle and the elbow is pointing up. You can turn and look back Breathe here, feeling that stretch in the quads. And release. And change. So bring the right arm onto the floor. Turn around and just pull that heel against the body. Again, adjust the hand. It's a bit of a funny one. You want to adjust the hand so that the fingers are on the toes and the heel of the hand is pointing away from you. The elbow is pointing up. Twist. Look over towards your left hand. So don't worry if the foot isn't all the way down. Just kind of do what feels right for you. Should feel a really lovely stretch here. Lovely might not be the word I want to use, but it's... And then release. And just come back into crocodile and wiggle the hips from side to side. Now we're going to have a go at releasing the hands. Take the arms behind you, lift your feet, and grab both feet now. Pull both heels into the body. And don't worry about adjusting your hands. I think it's going to be quite tricky doing it with both of them. So just placing your hands on your feet, pressing the heels against the body, and lifting your chest off the floor, lifting your head off the floor, and maybe lifting your knees. A bit trickier lifting the knees. Just pressing down into the pubic bone, lifting at the front. Another breath. And exhale, release. And place the hands under the shoulders. Press into the hands. Take the knees wide, heels together, and sit all the way back on the heels. Just wave the body around here, loosening into the areas that need it. And then relax here, forehead on the floor, just rest the arms and take some nice deep breaths. And then walk the hands back towards you. And we're going to bring the legs in front of us. So one way of doing that is to take the hips over to the side and swing the legs around. Or the stronger variation, which some of us have practiced, is to cross at the ankles, press down into the hands and squeeze the knees into the body and then swing them through, bringing the legs out in front. And then shuffle down the mat. Variation 1, keep the feet on the floor. Lean back slightly, palms facing each other. Variation 2, lift the feet off the floor and hold here. Maybe straightening the legs. And from here we're going to slowly make our way onto our backs. And then hug the knees into the chest straight away. Place your feet on the floor, hip width apart, heels close to the body, and inhale as we start letting our arms travel over our head and let the hips rise as high as possible. Backs of the hands touch the floor behind you. Hips are in the air. And then exhaling, going back to where we were. Floating the arms back down. And the tailbone comes down last. Inhale. Same again. Floating. Make sure the knees don't flop outwards. And exhale. Gently lowering back down. One more time, inhale. And we're going to stay here. Pushing the hips up. Pressing into the feet. And exhale, release. Hug the knees to the chest. Now you're going to, if you've not done shoulder stand before, you're going to continue and do a few more rounds of what we've just done. And if you're not doing shoulder stand for any other reason, then either do that or do something of your own choice. Shoulder stand, we are taking our legs in the air, pressing into the hands, swing the feet over the head, shuffle the shoulders under, hands on the back, and then coming into your shoulder stand with the weight on your shoulders and upper arms. So remembering we're not doing shoulder stand if you have any neck or shoulder problems at the moment, any eye problems, if it's the time of the month or high blood pressure. It's advisable to avoid going upside down in any upside down position if any of those apply. Pointing the tailbone up towards the heels. Close your eyes and just breathe. So if you're doing the hip lifting, make sure that you're moving with the breath. So as your hips rise, you're breathing in, and as they go back onto the ground, you're breathing out. Exhale, shoulder stand people. Take the right foot over the head. And keep the left leg stretching into the air. And hold it for 3 breaths. Now just look at that left knee. If it's done this and gone wide, sorry, don't look because you shouldn't turn your head. But don't let the left knee point out towards the left. Make sure it's pointing to the wall behind you. So is your foot. Inhale, lift your right leg up in the air. And exhale to take that left foot down. And again, just watch that right foot, right leg. 3 breaths here. And inhale to lift up. And exhale, both feet over the head into your plow. Releasing your hands if your feet are on the floor and pushing up through the hips. Interlock the fingers and press into the arms. And it's nice to walk the feet back towards the head and push the heels away from you to get the really nice stretch in the legs. Change the interlocking of the fingers if you're doing this. And we're going to roll out now. So either separating your hands, pressing the palms into the floor, or for stronger variation, hook the thumbs together and carefully roll out onto the arms themselves. Once the hips are there, keep the legs straight and lower them down. So bring the arms underneath the back if they're not already. Unhook the thumbs if they're hooked. Press into the hands and lift your whole back off the floor. Roll the shoulders back, open through the front, and then place the back of the head back on the floor, touching it gently while keeping the front open, the spine nice and long. And breathe deeply. So watch as you breathe in. Feel the rib cage expand. And as you breathe out, bring weight into the hips. One more breath here. And then release. Place the head on the floor. Release the arms. And just interlock the fingers behind the head. Let's bend the legs, place the feet on the floor, knees pointing up. Inhale, lift your head off the floor. Bring the chin to the collarbone. And you're going to exhale and push the right elbow away, turning your head to the left. And inhale to come back to the center. And exhale to push your left elbow forwards to turn your head to the right. And inhale to the center. And then lift your knees and come into a ball. Use your hands gently to bring your forehead towards your knees. Breathing here. Take 3 deep breaths. So don't apply too much pressure, with your hands. Just kind of use your abdominal strength. And then release the arms and hug the knees to the chest. Take the arms out wide, in line with your shoulders, palms turned up. Inhale, and as you exhale, let's take the knees over to the left and flop, relax and let them go. Turn your head to the right. Feel free, if you've got the space, to straighten your legs here. Maybe grabbing your feet with your left hand. Otherwise, just stay with the legs bent. And just try to relax in this position. Make sure that your both shoulders are on the floor. You're feeling a nice twist, the lower back is open. And now we're coming back to the center, so you can do this with bent or straight legs. Whichever one you're doing, keep the legs squeezing together. Inhale, come to the center. And exhale, go the other way. If you've got the space, keeping them straight or bent. And turn to face the left. And inhale, let's come back to the center. Keep the legs together. And hug the knees to the chest. Place your hands on your knees, fingers pointed towards the toes. Keep the knees together and make some big circles. Both ways. And then opposite directions. Both directions here. And then come into the corpse pose, Shavasana. So take the feet wide as your mat, or if you're not on a mat, then wider than your hips. And let the toes just flop out, opening the thighs. Arms away from the ears, from the body, palms turned up. But maybe 45 degrees, so not as high as your shoulders, not next to your body, but somewhere in between. Tuck the shoulders under, lengthen through the back of the neck. So inhale and squeeze the feet as tightly as possible. Lift the feet off the floor, in fact, and squeeze the legs. Exhale through the mouth, release. Inhale to lift the hips and squeeze the buttocks. Keep the feet on the floor this time. Exhale, release. Inhale to lift the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the arms and make fists. Rotate the wrists both ways. And release. Stretching out the fingers. Inhale as we pull the shoulders to the ears. Squeeze them tightly. Exhale, release. Inhale as we press the back of the neck into the mat. And release. Inhale to squeeze the shoulders to the ears. Release. Gently turn the head from side to side, letting go, of any tension in your neck, around your shoulders. Inhale to squeeze the face into a ball with all the skin and the muscles coming towards the tip of the nose. Exhale to stick out the tongue, look up at the forehead. And relax. Make sure that you're comfortable and warm. Wiggle the jaw a little bit from side to side, just loosening your facial muscles. And then use the breath to become more and more relaxed. Feel the whole body starting to soften and relax. Settle into your Shavasana pose on your mat. Feel the whole body melting into your mat, just becoming heavier and heavier. Try to be completely still. Follow the breath with your focus. Just breathing naturally without any effort at all. So just notice the breath starting at the lowest point of the belly. And as you breathe, feel the body stretching and growing. As you inhale, and then as you exhale, everything becoming softer, and the belly becoming relaxed. And just notice what happens at the top and bottom of the breath as well. That moment of peace, quiet. So feel free to stay here relaxing as long as you like. There's no need for you to rush out of this relaxation. But otherwise, feel free to join me in moving your fingers and toes and gently moving your head from side to side to awaken your body. Just noticing how you're feeling as you do this. And then stretch your arms over the head, bring the feet together and stretching your whole body. And exhaling to bend the knees into the chest, lift your forehead to the knees. And rolling over onto your side. A nice deep breath here. And pressing into your hand to push yourself up gently into sitting. Easy cross leg, crossing at the ankles. And bringing the palms up your legs. Staying here for a breath, noticing how you're feeling here. And then let's rub the palms together to create warmth. And then placing them over your eyelids. Opening your eyes here to look into the darkness of the palms. Feeling that warmth against the eyeballs. And then separate the fingers to let in the light. And bring the hands to the heart center. Namaste.